People, Places, Parties, the show that celebrates those who help us celebrate. This week, we're in the Wellington suburb of Haitaitai with Hamish, who puts on hardcore punk shows out of his living room.
My name is Hamish Morgan, and I put on house shows, hardcore punk shows and whatnot, under the pseudonym Albert. I've never played an instrument or anything like that, so I guess the only thing I'm without actually learning guitar or anything like that is doing vocals, the singing part of it. So yeah, I guess that's where I come in. That's my area. I'm the vocalist for Happy Valley. Basically doing this all myself, like all the gear and stuff behind me, like that's all from people that have lent it out to me. So this will be my second gig here. We had our first one back in August, and that went quite well, so we just thought, why not keep it going? Because obviously I live with flatmates, so they've allowed me to use this space, this venue, if you want to call it that. So I'm, powered entirely by the generosity of others. I guess I decided that, we've got this big room that we can utilize, and why not put on some shows here? I'd like to be able to do this on a consistent basis, so maybe like once every second month or something like that.
Yo, what's up? Kia ora, nau mai ki te mātou whare. Thank you for coming out to the second edition of Haitaitai Homerika.
As far as Wellington goes, there was Zeal, which was an all-ages venue, which is now a shut-up shop, which was the same building that Bodega was in, so that whole building was red stickered, it's getting renovated or whatever now. And ever since then, there's been not much happening in shows. The only person that puts on shows is Ben, who works at Harley's. Does some amazing work, not only just for Wellington, but for the country in general, as far as the bands he brings over and international bands and all that sort of stuff. Like, if it wasn't him, I don't know where we'd be right now. I lived in Christchurch for a bit, and they had a similar thing. The only all-ages venue in Christchurch closed down.
Right at the end. If you need some water, because I know there's probably a few of you out there that's been on the old beersies, there's some water out there.
I obviously understand why it might be seen as intimidating or aggressive or off-putting to some people. The amount of noise and people, dancing and how they move out and interact with other people when the music is playing. I can definitely get that. So I've never really had a good way of explaining. I've always just said it's on the louder end of the spectrum, or I'll just say it's like punk, or just without getting into micro genres. And
I have to deal with tomorrow morning because I'm basically responsible for this entire thing. I've been held accountable by my flatmates who have let me host.
It's quite funny to think when I was in primary school and stuff, I was doing actually like school choir and all that sort of stuff, and we just gone from like that to when I went through my teens, early teens, late teens, there was just the louder end of the spectrum. I used to play quite a lot of sports and all that sort of stuff, but also like at lunchtime I hung out with like the geeky, nerdy kids, or the losers or whatever kind of thing. That was my friend group, I guess, and we all listened to that sort of stuff. Well, now that I'm in a band, like telling people I work with and that sort of thing, like even my parents, like they've never really understood the music at all.
Auckland.
Tamaki Makoto.
Tamaki Makoto, actually, yeah. We got called Tamaki Makotoans in Taumaranui, and they asked if we were lost, because they don't get a lot of us down there.
Don't get a lot, no. It's a shame.
We're looking for hot chips, but you know what? We never found them. We never found them.
Yeah, I guess I want to kind of give back, and all the bands that I saw when I was younger. There's no shows happening. There's no new bands, so try and reinvigorate the scene from the ground up. And the only way to do that, I guess, is start new bands and promote the bands that are coming through. Like I have other little hobbies and things, but nothing. Music is essentially my life. If I wasn't listening to it or wasn't playing or going to shows, I don't know what would fill that space.
It's been pretty good, man. I've come here randomly. It's like we're in a nice upmarket part of town, and it's quite nice to play like in somebody's front room. I've been kind of partying hard since about 1988 or something. Like a lot of kind of punk scene and blues scene in Manchester. Like serious kidney failure, like from too much partying kind of time. And I moved over here to a place called Seacliff.
Like myself personally, I don't drink alcohol or do drugs, recreational drugs and that sort of thing. I know quite a few people who are like that. Obviously, I'm not bothered by who shows up, just as long as they're, you know, willing to behave and not cause too much of a disturbance, then they're all welcome here. So that kind of thing doesn't bother me. I haven't reached the point where I've had to ask someone to leave. Hopefully we won't have to even cross that bridge, but yeah, it's been great so far. I'm not here to stop people having a good time, like just because I don't personally drink or anything. Like I'm not gonna push that. I never have like pushed that agenda onto other people. Like people can do whatever they want to do. They can have no problems with that sort of thing. The idea of a house party or a house show is, I guess it's a unique sort of vibe as opposed to coming to a licensed, established venue. Just the fact that there are shows happening again that aren't just at Valhalla.
Yeah, it was heaps of fun. I'm still deaf from how loud it was, but yeah.
House shows, way to go, live down the road. Haven't seen punk bands in a very long time, so.
And it's the choice of the next generation.
Yeah, nice been good, just chilling. Drank a lot of beers, great day, you know how it is.
Are any of you guys in any bands? Yeah. Okay.
There are only two of us, so there's not much more to say.
I think that's pretty much it, unless there's anyone else I'm forgetting. Kia ora.